Hi everybody, welcome to this week's Mentality Tip. This week I want to do something a little bit different, and I want to share with you an article that I read, and it is just in this, it's actually last month's issue of SWAT magazine. And there's a gentleman here that writes by the name of Louis Arbuck, and he's one of the, he's a very famous firearms instructor. A lot of obviously special operations groups from around the world traveled with this gentleman, and he is a very unique individual. He has a really, most people would call, he's not very politically correct, let's put it that way, but he has some really great insights into combat training and mentality. And he wrote an article that's titled "I Am the Enemy," and it's really interesting because it's written from the perspective of the terrorist or of the criminal, and it's really basically a reflection towards the government and just towards the way our civilization is structured and the way that they're approaching or their approach to dealing with criminals or terrorists. And it's just a great insidious mindset, and it's a lot of sarcasm in the article. And I just wanted to kind of read it for you, and I really want you guys to just get, I took a lot out of this article, and it really does reflect a lot of our mentalities and our beliefs. And you have to view the world differently as a warrior, and again, doing what is necessary and really getting past the political correctness of this and meeting your enemy on his own terms. And that's, it takes a predator to kill a predator, to catch a predator, to fight a predator. You know what I mean? So this is, I'm going to read this article for you guys, and again, hopefully you take a lot out of it. I know I did. So kind of let's go with that. So it's titled "I Am the Enemy" by Louis Arbuck. I am your enemy and you are losing, and you will continue losing until you wake up and study the lessons of history. I wonder why you think that using lips for vertebrae will ever give you a backbone to stand up and be counted. And that's exactly what you do. You talk the talk, but an invertebrate can never stand tall. Once you crawl, you fall, and from my perspective, you are crawling. You have indeed dealt my battle plan and intentions a few minor blows, but nothing I couldn't deal with, and continue my inexorable march toward your self-destruction. You are disgusted by what you regard as my disgraceful conduct, and allow this to affect your moral indignation. But you don't retaliate in kind. I took one of your eyes and you turned the other cheek. And that is your greatest weakness in battle, not taking an eye for an eye. Well, may you choose to adopt the policy of taking the higher moral ground, but while you implement the sanctimonious position, I laugh in your face and will spit on your descendants, if you live long enough to have any. What you regard as gentlemanly behavior, I pounce on as weakness. When I butcher your sons and daughters, you want dialogue. I have news for you, loser. I don't want to talk with you. I don't need to. After all, I'm winning and you're losing. So why would I want to hold a warm and fuzzy dialogue with an enemy whose throat is open to the blade of my sword? Yes, you hate me. After all, I'm your sworn enemy. But once again, you will not win unless you learn from history's bitter lessons. You let your hatred cloud your vision, and that is your loss. You have to work in conjunction with your enemy, not against him. That's the only way to win. Anything less and you'll beat yourself. And that's exactly what you are doing. Because when all is said and done, I'm not beating you. You are beating you. You have better weaponry than I. You have better technology than I. But you confuse that with the ability to fight and win. Because I am still winning with rocks, baseball bats, and rusty $2 machetes. And the more I kill and maim, the more you lose heart. Because you want guarantees of victory and instantaneous gratification. I will never give up because I'm fanatical about my cause, and I don't care how long it takes, generations if need be. I can afford to wait. You can't. And I take advantage of your Achilles heels, your so-called sense of honor, and an inept judicial system. Do you seriously believe that I don't have my own code of honor, religious fanaticism, allegiance to a gang, and the knowledge that your judicial punishment doesn't match my crimes? These all combine to make me, and others like me, indestructible. You may look at my modus operandi as dishonorable, but one man's meat is another man's poison. And may I remind you one more time that I am winning and you are losing. How many more citizens are you prepared to have mugged, robbed, raped, and murdered before you wake up? How many more police officers must be beaten and killed before you revert back to a saner age when the judicial system meted out justice for criminal behavior? And how many more soldiers will be cast to the wolves because politicians make pole-building decisions instead of leaving wars to be fought by warriors? Yes, I am your enemy and you despise me, but I can also be your best friend because I'm the one who can give you the strategy to beat me if you'll listen. I have my doubts since you didn't learn from Roman, Greek, or French history, and you certainly didn't listen to words of advice of sub-Saharan Africa 40 years ago. But here's your last chance. Stop dividing and conquering from the inside out. That's supposed to be the enemy's job, but you're doing his work for him. Stop writing checks with a hippopotamus mouth that you can't cover with your hummingbird ass. You're broke and you can't feed your own children, but you're squandering money on political vote-gaining insincerities. Stop trying to fight me with a politically correct war machine that is undermanned, underfunded, and has supply lines strung out from here to eternity. Leave the generals to fight your wars and give them the material wherewithal to do their job. Stop emasculating your own citizens from defending themselves against deadly force and criminals in general. That's how you have saved me the task of dividing and conquering in the first place. I don't even have to huff and puff. Your house is falling down around your ears without any effort from me. Don't like any of the above? Then change your mindset and your strategy now, because your world as you know it is crumbling. If I bomb one of your buildings, you should bomb 10 of mine in retaliation, but you don't. Abhorrent as you may find this, it's the only language I understand. Pay attention now, unlike when you were told 40 years ago, or kiss your hummingbird ass goodbye. This is your last chance, take it or leave it. If you carry on turning the other cheek in a misguided attempt to take the higher road, the next time around, I'll remove another eye. And the last time I checked, you only have 2 eyes to start off with. While in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king, there are none so blind as those who will not or cannot see. The next time you call me the enemy, you might want to look in the mirror before it's too late, even if you have only one eye. So hopefully if you want to listen, rewind this and listen to that again, it's written obviously from the perspective of the bad guy, but I took so much out of it, and it really speaks to that mindset. The ability to do what is necessary. Actually, I'm going to leave it at that, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you take a lot from it. Until next time, come what may.